I want to explain some backlinking concepts that are really going to simplify the way you look at offsite SEO. Now, by the end of this video, a lot of things are just going to make a lot more sense, so stick with me. Now, let me start by saying that your backlink profile requires three different things: relevance, trust, and power. Now, you can get all three of these things from the same backlink. It's very possible for a backlink to have relevance, trust, and power easily, but that's not a requirement. You just need to make sure your entire backlink profile has all three of these things together. Let's start by discussing relevance. Relevance is the easiest to get and the easiest to understand. You get relevance from the topic of the article that your link came from. So let's say you got a link from an entire website about golf, then Google thinks you're even more about golf. And then there's a little bit of relevance you get from the anchor text you got with the link. So if you got an anchor text that says reviews of golf drivers, then Google thinks you're a little bit more about golf driver ratings. Super easy to understand. Now let's talk about trust. It's a little bit harder to get. Now there's this concept that was baked into the algorithm that a link can imbue a certain level of trust based on the distance that link is from a set of manually curated seed sites. So if you have a link from New York Times, for example, which is probably one of these seed sites, then that's a fair bit of trust that you get. But if you have a link from another website that has a link from New York Times, that's still a bit of trust that you get. But there's another idea that you get trust from backlinks from websites that actually rank in Google and pull traffic. Ahrefs did a study and showed that only 9% of the internet pulled traffic. So it's one of those things that Google is most stingy about. If Google likes a website enough to rank it, then of course they're okay with its backlinks. The trust is coming from that too. Now let's talk about power. When we think about power, we're thinking back to an old algorithm called PageRank, which is still part of the modern algorithm. Basically, it's a measure of how powerful are your links, or how many links do your links have. Here's two examples of links with a lot of power. One would be doing some outreach and getting a link insertion into an existing article that already existed and already had links going to it. That's going to get you some power. Another would be a gray hat technique called PBNs, when you're getting a link from a home page that has a lot of links going to it. A lot of power there too. Now, as I mentioned before, your backlink profile needs all three of these concepts to rank: relevance, trust, and power. If, for say, you had a backlink profile that's completely dependent on relevance and power, that would suggest you're using almost all PBNs, because your relevance is coming from the article that you wrote on the PBNs, which is always going to be relevant, and then you get a lot of power come from those links home pages. So this will get you so far in some competitive niches, but you're going to need to mix that with some trust. So getting links from seed sites or getting links from real websites that actually rank in Google to round out that profile. I hope that makes sense. Now, this video is part of a backlink series that I put together for YouTube. Make sure to check out the full thing, because we're going to talk about a lot of different concepts. We're going to illustrate a whole bunch of different case studies and really get clear on everything you need to know about backlinks right now.